Hey guys, welcome to our review of Disney Plus, I think seventh series, Miss Marvel, which focuses on Kamala Khan. She's kind of like a fangirl of the Avengers, and particularly one Carol Danvers, a Captain Marvel. And this is kind of a coming of age story where she kind of struggles to fit in as she's learning how to use her newfound powers. And this particular one, we watched. We had early access from Disney Plus, so we watched episodes 1 and 2. So the way we're gonna break this up, we're gonna do no spoilers, and we're gonna do episode 1, and then talk about it, and then we'll do a break, and we'll even give you episode 2 right here, no spoilers. Take another little break and talk spoilers at the end of the video. So. On the whole, what did I think about this series? Well, I thought it was good, surprisingly good. I enjoyed it. It was very creative, quirky. It feels very much a comic book property, very close to the comic books in terms of the flamboyance and the high school and being a kid looking up to your heroes. What would it be like in an actual world where there are real heroes and in that sense? Um, and I think in at that it succeeds. Now, they definitely change Kamala Khan's powers. So from what I know, Kamala Khan is one of the stretchy ones, right? But here, her powers are more cosmic and have to do with a bracelet that has come from her family. But everything else is pretty much on point, and they've done a tremendous job at keeping it true to the character, other than the powers. So she is a Pakistani Muslim superhero, the first. And they actually got a lot of writers were Pakistani, Indian, really diverse cast and crew that included directors Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah. These are a kind of a duo that did Bad Boys for Life, the third installment in that Bad Boys franchise, which I liked. I thought it had momentum and creativity. And you see that come through here in the episodes. It has momentum, it has creativity. I'd say the only thing kind of holding it back so far for me is its reliance on the tropes. Like we've seen this a bunch. This story, we've seen it with Spider-Man. It's so close
I was going to say that.
to that kind of stuff. But other than that, it's wonderful to see a diverse, and there's nothing wrong. I know this show is going to get a lot of hate. And that may be because she's a Muslim superhero, or some people are going to be, this is forced diversity. There is nothing wrong with having a diverse superhero, especially taking lead. And for young Pakistanis or Muslims or really any ethnicity to look up to see somebody that they recognize. And the show actually dives in. I didn't expect it to kind of dive into some of the religion and the tackling issues of things that are maybe wrong in the religion, or the women have like a shittier kind of side of the mosque. I had no idea if that's really a thing, and the men have all the good stuff. And stuff like that. So I didn't expect it to kind of take on some of those issues. I expected it to take on the high school stuff where she's kind of bullied and looked as an outcast. So far, it's kind of doing a good job of that. And as far as her powers go, since I was never a big fan of Miss Marvel or Kamala Khan in the comics, I don't really care that her powers aren't changed. In fact, the stretchy power probably would have looked ridiculous, would have looked stupid. Even Reed Richards, I'm not a big fan of in Fantastic Four, Final Fantasy. So the fact that they go cosmic is a-okay with me. I would rather have cosmic powers myself than stretchy powers. So I like that.
It looks cooler.
Yeah. So and so far, the visuals are impressive. I like the music. And so I'm enjoying it. So I think it's a solid debut. What do you guys think?
I think this is average television for me. It's very tropey. I don't know if it's just me being tired of superheroes. It's like we get this little cut and paste. It's like, oh, she's a superhero now, and she has to deal with this identity also being in high school. And for me, these two episodes just average, unfortunately.
We were just kind of there.
Yeah, I was just like, fine, I'll watch it, but it's nothing I would seek out.
So you don't hate it, but
I
you
don't
don't
hate
think
it.
it's
like,
impressive.
Nah,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, I think that what I was worried about when I saw the trailers for this is that even in the trailers it looked super stylish, and it is, and it looked pretty accurate, and all the other things. I mean, people are working really hard on this, but it's not for me. This isn't the kind of thing that I've never the whole. The fan of the superheroes becoming the superhero kind of storyline never really resonated with me. Even when we watched Shazam, that's not like that's a weak part of the story for me. And I think that's this doesn't do Shazam. Like Shazam does it better, and Spider-Man does it better, and all these other ones do it better. And so these first two episodes, it looks solid. I know people are going to love it, and I also know people are going to hate it for like ridiculous reasons. It's more like I recognize it's very well made. Again, really great music and great style. There's only one or two things. It's like that's ridiculous. She never would have had that in her bag with her at this thing. But other than that, it's just like okay, this is there. But it's not for
It
me.
was just not the target
Yeah,
demographic.
I think that because it's so close to origin stories of other characters that we've seen, Spider-Man and Shazam, but I am a fan of those stories, and I think that's why I'm predispositioned to kind of like a little more, because I grew up loving Superman, just dressing up like Superman, wanting to go to conventions and you just run around, and she reminds me of that, and that's why, and thankfully Kamala Khan, the actress that plays her, Iman Velani, who's also Pakistani Canadian, does a fantastic job. I think she is a great actress and really conveys a lot of these emotions. She goes on. She daydreams a lot, and then when she's has a crush on a boy, she does the dancing and the things, and they change the lighting, and it's whimsical. And I think it's kind of well done in that sense. But the fact that we're hitting story beats that we've hit so many times before, and so you're getting a little bit of that. And I was hoping that there would be something a little different. Now, if you've not seen some of these origin stories, or you're coming in as a new fan of comics, maybe as a little girl or Muslim or Pakistani, and you want some, and you're not familiar with all this comic book knowledge and tropes, this is gonna really resonate with you. But because we've seen it done a ton of times, I think it loses a little bit of that uniqueness and sparkle. Now the directors do their best to try to add some visual flares. This is not a boring Lifetime movie where the shots are static. The shots are dynamic. They do this cool graffiti stuff that follows. They text each other, and you get this. The texts appear on like the concrete or the
it's really clever.
sheets. It's clever and it's visually pleasing. I didn't hate watching it. Didn't want to turn it off. I thought it was entertaining, but stuff that I had seen before. And I think the actors are kind of holding it up with Iman's performance. I really like her father Mohan Kapoor as Yusuf Khan. Her father's funny, likable guy. Her mother is curmudgeon and just like so like restrictive. It's like really
It's
so
like,
like
we
she
get
wants
it.
to go to the Avengers Con and she's like, "You're gonna go to a party?" It's like, "What? How is that a party?" And she's like trying to make her out as she's like doing things she shouldn't be doing. It's like your daughter is telling you your daughter's like a good kid, and then
We
she,
just
oh,
need
your
that
skimpy
strict.
outfit. Have you seen her outfit? It's like a motorcycle jacket. How is that skimpy? But I can kind of see it from the perspective of maybe a Muslim family, that their sensibilities are different, right? Where they're saying, well, no, you shouldn't be going out and doing that.
rebelling.
And to be honest, the Muslim family in this series is really Americanized. They love Bon Jovi. They go to concerts and stuff. So the fact that they're trying to do both, like have their cake and eat it too, and say, well, no, you can't do that because that's you're being ashamed to our family, or you're being too outlandish. It's like, but you went to John,
Yeah, and then there's
slippery
also
when
this-
wet and
yeah.
these sexual jokes and stuff. Like, what do you?
And this other line in, he's like, yeah, we came to America, so you kids could be whatever you want. Except for
Exactly.
you, Kamala. You cannot
Yeah,
go to
fuck you,
America
come on.
Con.
It's like, what the fuck?
You can't go to that
but
con.
you could tell that's a weakness in the writing where they develop the conflict where
Yeah.
they don't want to let her go, and so she sneaks out, and then, but by
Gets
episode,
caught, yeah.
Anyways, and so that kind of stuff kind of brings it down a little bit for me. If you were going to go that way, then why aren't they like the fundamentalist or more restrictive about that kind of stuff? And I guess they
Yeah,
are
keep it
being
Disney-ish.
But there's some to be said. You're right. There's some to be said for overprotective parents. Whether you're Muslim, whether you're American, whether you're British, there's going to be some overprotective parents, and her mother definitely fits that bill. But again, a great actress with her mother too. So I believe all this. She's got a best friend, and you can see this coming from a mile away, right? What's going to happen with the best friend? And he's a guy, so he's a male best friend with a female, and he's with her always. They're doing things together. She shares her secret with him. They're training, but then a new boy comes to school.
Jealousy's afoot?
And she fucking, so we got a love triangle here. And we got, maybe you should be with the guy who's always been with you rather than this.
Oh, it loses 3 points on that episode. Well, I'm on board now. It's like, but like as soon as we get to that, it's like, nah.
Yeah,
man.
so I think it starts strong, and we'll get there. So let's go with final verdict. Oh, we already final
No.
verdicts for the first episode.
For me, it's
I didn't
going to be
wanna
a
talk about the
5.
second.
I really do like the acting that they're doing. The actors are doing a great job, but everything else is very tropey, kind of run-of-the-mill thing. Yeah, I do like the animations and stuff, but like I said before, you've seen it before, done better.
Yeah.
I was hoping they would do like some kind of twist or something on this take, but
Well, the
far-
twist I think is supposed to be the bracelet, right? I mean, it's not her powers. Why do they change her powers? I don't
Kinda-
understand.
Well, I guess we'll talk about it in spoilers, but
Okay.
it kind of is.
No.
It kind of says it in the end, but yeah, it's a 5 for me. It's average.
Okay.
I'm thinking like average or barely above average. I really do think that there's a lot of style in this, and even for someone who is not, a 16-year-old girl or who does not like. The fans becoming
won't
superhero
hate
stories
it.
like me. Like, I didn't hate it. I think this is better than a lot of, like, some of the crap that we have been watching. So I think I'm going to go with a 6. I do think that the directors, I mean, I'm going to give them
Yeah.
the point because it does have so much style. There's scenes where they're, especially in the text messaging, where I'm watching a scene, it's like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So for me, it gets just barely above average. But I just don't think that the
Yeah, it kind
series
of
is
reminds me of what is
Yeah.
it? A Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He has like a little.
yeah,
Scott Pilgrim and
yeah,
like there's a
yeah.
lot of things
What's
like
the one that I liked on Netflix? The Family. Shit.
Oh, the
Um,
Roberts. The robot one, right?
Yeah, the robot
Yeah, I know
one.
what you're talking
Fuck,
about.
God, I got a bad memory. All right, but anyway, it's got that kind of visual style to it, and I like that. I'm predispositioned to like it. So that's cool. Alex is 6 out of 10. And he said, "I'm not a little girl.
But you
I'm
won't
not,
hate it."
I'm not this." So there's your other points. It could go from 6 to 7 if you're a girl. 8 if you do like coming hero fanboy kind of thing. Yeah, and so I'm at about a 7. I thought the first episode was the strongest, and it starts solid. I kind of came in like, I don't fucking care about this, but I think it was fun enough and whimsical enough, and enough humor and
Kinda captivated you.
upbeatness and charm that it kind of won me over. Now we'll get to episode 2, but that's basically how it goes. So let me real quick dive into some of the details on episode 1. So if you don't want any spoilers, then stay away, and then we'll go into episode 2. So details of episode 1. We start off, I like the animation too, let me say that. I love the animation. I love the paper mache style stuff that we've seen in other films like Spider-Man and stuff. They continue that here. She fantasizes about Captain Marvel, who's the best hero according to her. It's like, that's fine. But I know some people are like, I'm turning this shit off. Fuck it. Fuck Brie Larson. Fuck her. It's like, I'm not
It's
in
her
that camp.
favorite. Let it.
Right? It's her favorite, and people are going to have fucking favorites. So she, of course, glorifies her and says, oh, she did all this cool stuff. She's a typical 16-year-old. She fails her driving test. Not typical. She fails it horribly by slamming into the back of
Never done that.
Yeah, of her instructor's car. She ruins her instructor's car. We get the scene of her going to school. You can clearly tell she's an outcast. And this is real shit. I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes. You know, if you're Muslim, if you're look different, you know, automatically you're a part of a different clique or you're out ostracized. It happens. And so I identify with that and I see it. And I'm wondering how this show is going to continue it. Is it going to be, you know, the tropey thing? Are they going to play it up? So far, I mean, I thought it was just the right amount, right? She's got a quirky principal counselor dude, Mr. Wilson, who is, I don't know, he's quite a character, and he's like giving her advice and stuff, and basically telling her, look, you're not paying attention in class. You got your head in the clouds. You're just doing all this stuff. You need to focus on her studies.
Well, not focusing.
She's not even focusing. That's me basically, right? And then at home she gets a box, and I'm like, is this gonna be her thing? And it is. It's her grandma or something sent her all these like trinkets and dresses and things from the old school, and she ends up looking at the circlet. Oh, that's cool. Then we cut to, I think, a Pakistani bazaar markets out there, and she's like trying on, you know, traditional dresses and stuff, but you can clearly tell that she's not about all this. She just wants to be a kid, wants to have fun with her friend Bruno. And her friend Bruno's this like gadgeteer guy, and he's been her best buddy forever, and he's cool, nice guy. He helps her family, has dinner with her family all the time, even creates a Zuzu, like I guess this is
Like Alexa.
Marvel Universe's Alexa or so. He sets it up for them, and these gizmos, and her family likes him. So that's gonna set up the love triangle,
So
right?
why don't you go with him? He's a nice kid.
He's a nice kid. So he's like, ask your mom to, you know, obviously if you failed your driving test, you're not gonna be able to do the car. We can't get there. So ask your mom to take you. And she's like, no. I mean, my mom is like Darth Vader. This is not gonna work. And eventually she asks. She asks at the worst time, and I thought her argument was strong. And she's trying to turn it into educational. She's trying to rope her is it brother or cousin into it or something?
Her brother?
The guy with the bigger beard?
Yeah, brother.
And ultimately her parents say no. I think her dad was maybe into it a little bit, but her mom says no, and she's and so then that's when you get the texting with the creative, like she said no, and it's like on the walls and in the thing, and it kind of saves time, right? Because we don't need to see, and I don't want to see. It's so just boring to look at a fucking cell phone screen. Says she said no. And that's when we get to see her parents they try to say, look, her parents are not that bad. Because they burst in, I mean, her mom comes up and then her dad bursts into the room dressed as Hulk, and they want her to go as like a Pakistani version of Hulk or something.
Yeah, Mini Hulk. Big Hulk and Mini Hulk.
Big Hulk and Mini Hulk, but they have like traditional like garb on and stuff. And she's like, it's not even a thing. And she's built a really fucking awesome costume. And if she would show her parents, she hides the costume. She'd show her parents would be like, wow, that's pretty well fucking done. But, you know, she tries to hide it and shit.
She could have just gone. He was like,
She made her dad cry because she's a bitch. That man coated himself in green. And he's like, I'm going to go.
I disagree with that. Like, it's like, look, Dad, I love you, but I don't want to fucking do everything with you. This is my thing. I want to go with me and my friend. You got to come. And it's like, yeah, it's great, but please, just not right now.
Yeah,
I'm not a bitch because I don't want you to go.
At that
I
age,
just
parents are uncool.
Exactly. And he's trying to be
forever.
Cool. But anyways, they say no then. Okay, well, if you're not going with your father, you're not going with it. And then they turn into bad guys, right? And she's like, and you're not going in this skimpy outfit. It's like, this is not a skimpy outfit. This is so stupid. But anyways, then they get to kind of one of the heart of the show and the message of the show. She says it's not really the brown girls from Jersey that you see saving the world. And you know, it's true. You know, for the longest time, you don't really see anything. You don't see a hero like that for you know, in the 30s and 20s, 40s, moving up.
Yeah,
we're starting to get it now, and I think opening up the world to have more diverse characters is great. And her friend Bruno is a fantastic friend, because he's like, look, if you want to save the world, you can save the world. You will save the world, you know, and do what you want to do and find your voice. And so it works there. And he's a nice guy. He makes her some gloves, you know, fucking LEDs, and they play fight on the roof. They're kids. They're fucking 15, 16-year-olds. So
Some gloves.
it's the part that works. And then she comes up with this ridiculous plan. They do cartoons on it, but it's like so over the top and ridiculous. But I still enjoyed it. But and I think they said something real quickly. I think I missed it. Yeah. Do Captain Marvel, but do something Pakistani or something. She had to have.
You have to put your own flair on the character.
Okay, flair. That's what it was. So because she needs some flair, she remembers the bracelet. So she runs upstairs, she grabs the bracelet, and she puts it on. Or no. She's gonna put it on. Like there's weird shit happening in the house, and then she just puts it in the bag and waits to put it on. So. In the little fucking fantasy thing, she's wearing a badass, you know, Captain Marvel suit that's all perfect, and she jumps out the window, does flips and shit. And then when she's actually doing the plan, she's just like fucking fails, and the branch breaks off. Man, she must weigh a ton. If the fuck, that was a huge fucking branch that fell off.
It would have crushed her.
It would have crushed her, yeah. But it's still funny, and they missed the bus. They missed all, like they were gonna jump their bikes and hit the bus. They weren't really gonna do that, but you know. So they finally get there, and it's fucking awesome. It's a collection of like-minded people. I love conventions. We go to conventions all the time. Well, before the pandemic, and you know. And it's having fun. It's like I kept thinking, God, her mom is such a curmudgeon. And like, if she would show her some footage of a previous, it's not a fucking party where we're drinking alcohol and shit. It's just people hanging out. But she doesn't do that because forced drama or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, they have the Captain Marvel cosplay competition, and she's rushing and puts on her outfit, forgets the gloves. I thought that was going to be an important plot point, but it wasn't. She forgets the gloves in the bathroom. And she puts on the bracelet, and then that's when it activates her powers. Mm-hmm. At first, I thought it was just the bracelet. Yeah. But they make sure later on in the episode...
it's coming from within
It's coming from... You see a little image of her. I don't know how this kid has the iPad that can
that's why he's going to Caltech.
Right. You're right.
I've got this doodad I just made up. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
And so then she actually accidentally sends out some fucking, I don't know what to call these, crystal.
Projectiles.
Cosmic crystals. And everybody thinks it's a part of the show as she's breaking shit and they're having a good time, even though they're in fucking danger of getting run over by Ant-Man's head and shit. And then one of her friends from school, not really her friend, but the popular girl from school shows up in the skimpy, you know, she's like, fuck, I'm going to lose if this girl, and everybody's like, getting all the attention. She's the popular girl. But when she puts on and does this, man, she's the favorite because it's like, what the fuck? This person put some thought into their costume and has all these special effects. But unfortunately, she's breaking stuff, and it breaks like this hammer, and Thor's hammer comes and slams into the girl.
Dead.
Would have killed her right there.
If that was a boy, she's dead. Blood everywhere.
We just watched The Boys, so yeah. That's a different one, man. I'll give her a few extra points, and then I'll be like, holy fuck, what the fuck? All right, anyways. So she breaks stuff, and she ends up saving the girl, and the girl's like thankful. But of course, when she goes back to school, the girl has used this for Instagram likes and popularity, making up stories and stuff, and you know, her mom is upset because when she gets home, her mom was waiting the whole time. So, of course, you got this. And she's like, do you want to be good or cosmic, head in the clouds type person?
Cosmic.
And I was like, lady, seriously? Like, you live in the universe where the Avengers and heroes exist and cosmic exists, and they saved your life. They saved the entire world. You have no respect for that? You don't think that they're good? You know, and so she thinks that these are two different things. It's just dumb, and she's like, whatever. And then Kamala lays on her bed, and she's like, cosmic. She chooses cosmic, and it's getting great music. And I think it's a great Muslim superhero example and introduction here. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with diverse heroes. And you know, many people are probably going to hate on it simply for it being that. But I also understand the point of view that it could have been better. It uses a lot of tropes. Mm-hmm. It's, you know, we've seen it before a lot. And they kind of cover that up or mask it with upbeat, fun comic book visuals and things, and yeah. So even if the part with the parents is a little annoying, so I went again 7 out of 10 on it just to remind you. So now. We're going into episode 2. What did you think of episode 2, Alex?
I liked it less than the first one. I think that we fell into the same trap that we often do with Disney, or just some characters in general, where in this case, the bad guys are fucking cartoon characters, and they're wildly ridiculous, and I fucking hate them. And whatever goodwill that you had before where I was rounding up, I am now rounding down because it is so fucking... if you're writing this for 16-year-old kids, 16-year-old kids are not imbeciles. Some of them are, but they're not all imbeciles. And you don't have to write characters as if your entire audience is stupid. And the second we got these cartoon FBI agent shitheads like,
showing
really?
Up, come on,
I had to look this up because they were so annoying. It's the United States Department of Damage Control. Because I was like, are they cops? They kept writing cops.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Fuck them.
Okay.
So I liked it less than the first one. Still has all the charm. It's still stylistic. The story's progressing as much. A little bit more happens this one, though. The first episode was a little slow. This one's a little slow. I don't know how many episodes this is.
6.
But I really wish we would be ramping up a little bit. I guess we're kind of getting there now, especially towards the end of this one. But I don't know.
Yeah, and this this is early. This doesn't come out till June 15th. We'll have this episode up, June 8th, around 8th. So we're going ahead further. So what do you think of the episode?
This
Joe?
one I'm still coasting by. It's still average for me. I didn't really like the whole FBI thing. It's like they didn't even give you a good reason why. They're just like, all right, now we have to go get her because we're the bad guys.
Well, Joe, it is
like, why?
DODC, simply referred to damage control, a government agency set up with the aid of Stark Industries in order to clean up after battles with superheroes.
So DC are the bad guys?
It appeared again to clean up after the deli grocery store, blah, 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 blah. So I guess because she put people's lives in danger and she's wrecking shit and is damage control, they're coming in to either arrest her or question her. Right now, I wouldn't go as far to be like, these guys are pieces of shit because, they're bad guys. They're not necessarily bad guys. They want to, capture and talk to her. Now, if they capture her and they're like, okay, fuck you, I'm going to kill you, or we're going to prison you forever, then yeah, I agree with that. But right now, they just want to talk to her. She's a little kid. She's like, I'm fucking running.
Yeah, what would you do? Like, they send out the drones, chase them down. And it's like,
pull guns on you.
Show up with a drone and first, wait a minute, you're right.
And pull guns on you?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
And then you pull guns.
You're right. That's so stupid.
And after the girl says, no, that's not what happened. She saved me.
Hey, have you never fucking dealt with a new hero before? Like, they're ignorant.
Yeah,
this happens all the time. I've seen at least 4 movies where we have this
during
kind of
the
shit.
testimony. She's like, "No, she saved me. That's not what happened." It's like, "No, she tried to do some."
That's
evil
what
shit.
Alex was talking about. This
I'm like,
annoying,
why?
overly
Why
bad.
are you doing this?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, trope. And I totally agree with y'all on that. This episode was less good for me.
I wanted to like it.
I wanted to like it, but when the quirkiness is up and the upbeat and charm is up in the first episode, they dial that down and they increase the tropes. It's like no.
Yeah, so
Don't do that. Don't do that. Do this. And of course we don't yet have a villain, a bad guy. I mean, we've got the ones we don't want, this cop organization. Hopefully they will step aside as the series develops and we'll get something else more interesting. But if it's them the whole time, then yeah, I'm already rolling my eyes as you can see it. And this is going to lose footing with me real quick. So yeah, I like this one far less. Let's go final verdicts on episode 2.
You want to go?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, so this one, like I said, I kind of goodwill, like the style of the episode 1. And I think that you got it right. I think they dialed down the style and then they upped the cringe. And I just think that it's not bad TV. And I think that's going to resonate with people. I am not that person. This is not the show for me. So I think it's average TV. I think that this is a 5. And I'm worried about the trend because I see this one also foreshadows other things. Love triangle things. Bad guys being ridiculous cartoon government entities that I don't give a shit about. And other forced drama. And if those things end up happening, I can see myself not just being, I'm okay with this show, but I can actively see myself not liking this show if it continues to go in this direction.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be a 5. They're doing everything by the numbers. They're playing it super safe. They're not really doing anything like to make this stand out. So it's just bare average TV.
Except for the cartoony stuff, right?
Well, yeah, that's the only
But
thing.
we've
That's why
seen
I
that
give
before,
it.
too.
Yeah, we saw it. I was like, okay,
Okay.
yeah, it's
5 out of 10.
Yep.
And Alex was a 6 out of 10.
5.
5. Okay. What did I give this? I gave this one a 6 out of 10. It's worse than the debut. I'm starting to get a little worried, and we'll talk about why here in the details of the episode. But essentially what they said. There's some good elements in it. Here's some good elements that I didn't think that they would do. They kind of tackle some of the mosque stuff. The Muslim Americans, like, don't be scared of this religion. They have gatherings and votes, and they're going to do the subplot where it's like they vote on somebody for the direction
For the council.
on the council, right? You know, they're trying to demystify stuff for people that, you know, have prejudices against this. And there's prejudices within, they're showing that the men seem to have the better stuff than the women. So I like that they're shedding light on that and bringing that forward. And because it's all done by people, by Muslims, by Pakistanis and Indians and British Pakistanis, I feel like there's realism in there. Now, point it out if I don't know, because I'm ignorant of all this stuff. I'm like, that word for that ritual or this thing, this, you know, I'm like, is that legit? And so far, I think it's legit because it's coming from writers who really care, and they're trying to do justice of the first Muslim superhero. So, getting into the details of episode 2. Then we start off with a popular girl getting popular. I thought she was having a dream in the beginning, because when she's in school, she's like fucking cool. All of a sudden, she's like fucking cool. But I think that's supposed to be like the confidence that you get. Like,
Yep.
I am special.
Yeah.
I have the fucking power. So she's like, you know, doing stuff and being cool. And she overhears the popular girls. Oh, that was hard light. You know, she's low level, or she tries to keep a low profile, like she knows her or something like that. And she's like smiling. And she's like, no, it's more like a, you know, low-rent Captain Marvel, because she's wearing that costume. And she's like, thank you. You know, because she really likes Captain Marvel. That's not an insult to her. Then we get the scene of her testing the powers. And we've seen this so many times before, you know, on the rooftops of fucking... They're in Jersey, not... Well, wait, where was Spider-Man?
Queens.
Queens, yeah. So, you know, we've seen it before. And to be honest, her powers and all that, like, I don't like them yet. I'm not, you know, she creates
platforms.
what? She creates platforms.
Yeah.
She can throw the discs, and then she has visions. And she can stretch. So she can, I guess it's supposed to be like DC Power Ring, but we'll see in future episodes, like if she can will constructs, or if it's just cosmic
rocket
stretchy
launchers.
with platforms. I don't know. Anyways, so then we cut to the mosque stuff. Allah Akbar. They go to the mosque. They see that the women's side kind of sucks and it's falling apart. They need improvements. Their shoes constantly are stolen, and women's shoes are expensive. And
She's a Versace. That's her 22nd pair.
Is that what they said?
You are bad with money, lady. Like, you are real bad with
I was
money.
like, God damn.
You know, I've been robbed 21 times, but you know what? It can't happen to me 22 times.
It's like, bring some shitty shoes in.
So they're tackling religious conventions and traditionalism, whether it's right or wrong, and so that's why she is spurred on to try to get on this council to change stuff. But her there's like an uncle or something that everybody fucking loves, and he's way the favorite, since, you know, it seems like all the power lies with the men, and she's going to really need to work her ass off to try to win this vote. So there's a subplot developing there. Her mom, here's the thing, then so she has no repercussions. She is not on restriction, so she literally goes against what her mom says.
Go to a party.
And it's supposed to be a family where it's like, don't go, don't be skimpy, don't do stuff we don't telling you, and there's no repercussions. In fact, there's no repercussions that her mom lets her go to an actual party the second time,
With
which she
drinking.
And
With
boys.
drinking and boys. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, the plot has to happen.
I know, right? And I wish they didn't do it like that. God dang it. Anyways, So
But the
she
new-
meets a boy. Yeah.
But the new boy's there.
The new boy is there. We've seen him before in the high school. He shows up and he's hot, and they do the outline around him when he comes out of the pool. So it's like, what's that movie? Fast Times and.
But again, though, he did a belly flop that would have fucking.
no, he did it.
It was a
the
double. It
cannonball.
was a double front.
But he
flip.
looked like he did a fucking belly flop because
No,
that shit looked like it hurt.
I don't think you remember, Joe. He was doing a spinning as he hit the thing.
It would be
don't-
funny if it
I
was a
don't
belly
think
flop. He's trying to look badass.
Yeah,
he
he's
just
like,
goes,
the guy said, "Looked like it hurt." No, I'm cool.
Yeah, he comes out and they do the cartoon outlines on him, and you can tell
She's
immediate
love.
crush. And yeah, her friend Bruno notices this, and here we go. Here we go.
I'm gonna do it. -3 points.
Here comes the cops. Oh fuck! Everybody scatter! And the dude is all like, and he's a nice guy, and he's like, all right, follow me. I got a car. Everybody. And so it's
I have a
all right,
clown
he's
car,
not an
90
asshole.
95
they're
of us
do-
can fit in.
They're doing. I know. They're doing a. They're making it clear that yeah, he's the hot guy, but he's not a fucking asshole hot guy, right? Because he even remembers Bruno's. No, he doesn't.
He purposely
remembers
does-
everybody's name except for Bruno.
Calls him Brad.
Brad or something. But he seems all right. But a lot of it is very convenient. Why is he singling her out? He wants to, give her lessons, and they're immediate. He's making as if he is liking her. But we see here at the end of the episode
Very
that there is
suspicious.
a little bit more. Oh, forgot to tell you. At the end of episode 1, after the credits, there is something. You have to wait a long time to get to it, and it's the bureau, the stupid bureau that gets a hold of all the viral videos and says, "All right, bring her in." I forgot to mention that. Anyways,
Use any force necessary.
Yeah.
Drones, guns.
The guy has to warn the chick, hey, check every temple, every mosque, but be respectful, unlike last time when you were a dick. It's like, all right.
The FBI is already keeping tabs on them.
Yeah, I guess.
and then we get a little bit of her friend's backstory here, which let's see if I can get her friend. Nakia, Kamala's close friend. The one who's running for council. She kind of explains her backstory. I think she wasn't originally a Muslim, but she converted, and her parents kind of look at her different. And when Kamala's like going through some stuff, and it's like she's like, I understand, and then they bond over that. And I think it was Kamala that actually got her to join her mosque and come to church with her. And so they talk about that, and that's interesting because it's like, okay, so maybe we'll learn a little bit more from that. And then Bruno is called into the office from Mr. Wilson. He gets this Cali internship, and he kind of tries to blow it off because he wants to be hanging around with Kamala. He likes her, and he's like, can I give you an answer later or something? He's like, no, you're the main character. You go now.
Yep.
And so I guess either he's going to accept that or there's going to be some conflict. And yeah. Anyways, then we get to a family dinner. And so we get some stuff, I don't know anything about, Pakistan and the partition. And so we get some of that story here. Apparently, most every Pakistani family, if you're going back in the generations, have some kind of partition story. And what happened with basically the British left a fucking mess. And so we get a little bit of that in this series. I like how it touches on it. It doesn't shy away from it. And the mom, though, they tie in. She wants to know. Kamala wants to know what the hell this thing is, more about it. And when she goes to talk with her mom does not want to talk about Isha is who it's from. It's not from her grandma. It's like from her grandma's sister or grandma's mom or something. I don't know. But Isha brought shame upon the family, and she doesn't want to talk about it. So then that's when we get our scene of, they love Bon Jovi. They're kind of progressive, and, he's having a wedding.
Her brother's getting married.
Her brother's getting married, and they want to get married to some Bon Jovi song. Then they're at a gathering, some kind of carnival or something, where all of the congregation is at, and so her friend's trying to hand out flyers. She's talking with the vendor there, the food, because that's how you get to people, is you do the food, and it's true. But then she goes and manipulates Kamala's father. Kind of fucked up, I thought, because he was being really respectful. He's like, she's like, you realize I'm running? He's like, yes, but my friend is running too, and he's my best friend. And she's like, yeah, but I'm your daughter's best friend, and I'm a woman, and you need to vote for me. And he's like, and she's like, you're gonna crush our hopes and dreams. And he's like, fuck.
Damn it.
And then his friend's like, what the fuck, man? We're best friends, right? Are they really best friends? I don't know, maybe not. But I was like, Jesus Christ, you manipulated a little too much there. Anyways, here's the fucking cop scene, and then we start to take a dump. So the cops are like fucking, or she. No, I'm sorry. I took way too big of a jump. So at this function, a kid, dumbass kid, is taking more Instagram pictures and falls out and holds on to, some curtains, and she springs into action. Apparently, she had
her costume in her pocket.
In a backpack, because I didn't even see a backpack.
Just in case.
So she ran all the way home. She put the costume on, and you ran all the way. She don't have super speed.
Off screen.
There's no super speed.
Magic happens off screen, remember?
Right. It happened
Disney,
in Obi-Wan,
yeah.
so I'll allow it. So then she comes in, and she's talking to the kid. She's doing her superhero thing. She's doing a good job, and she saves him. And until we realize that it's kind of in her head. She's daydreaming about all the adoration that she's going to get and all the likes on Instagram, and it kind of fucks her up.
She gets a vision of some woman we haven't seen before. And
Yeah.
we don't know if it's her grandmother or if it's
be-
an evil woman.
This might be Isha. Might have tie into where she disappeared
Yeah,
and she's
that's
trying
what I
to
was
get
thinking.
out of this cosmic realm or something is my interpretation. But that distracts her, and all of her powers kind of start falling apart. The kid falls, and she starts shooting. So the kid's like, Homer Simpson, and hurts his ankle or something.
Breaks his ankle. It's like, oof.
Yeah. So, anyways, that sucks. And then she takes off, because then that's when the drones show up in the alley. It's like, really? It's like, this is how you're going to approach somebody who's trying to help and
Attack drones.
attack them. And then they got guns that are already drawn. It's like, what the fuck? So, yeah, we're doing the tropey thing. And then even more tropey things. She, like, fucking jumps over them, and all they have to really do is go like this and go around the truck. But in this time, they hold so that the fucking car rolls up, and it's her fucking new crush. What's his name? Cameron or something. They get in his car and drives off.
And the cops come around. They're like, where did she go?
Where did this
Looking underneath.
Meanwhile, the car is still going.
I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like, you could see the car coming, and it stopped. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are
Well,
you
wait a
doing?
minute. I'm still forgetting something. Hold on. When does she get captured by the cops?
She never does.
She never does.
Who gets captured by the cops?
No
No
one. No, you talking about the
The
popular
fucking
girl?
cops.
The popular girl.
That's who it is.
She just came in
That's
for normal
who it is.
question.
yeah.
So,
She's
yeah.
went in.
The popular girl gets captured by the cops. The cops are pressing her, and then they say the stupidest fucking thing.
Yes.
It's fucking,
I was like, why?
you
didn't
Latina,
have
are you
to.
Latina? And she goes, oh, I should say Latinx. It's like, that is so fucking stupid. Don't say Latinx, all right? I'm giving everybody permission to not say Latinx. It offends me if you say Latinx. No one asked anyone to say Latinx, okay? Stop fucking giving power to stupid-ass people that just said, now you're going to fucking do this. It's like, no, it's Latino, Latina is fine. You don't need to do Latinx. But she's all saying it like, in a fucking, mean and dismissive way. It's like, look.
You people,
you-
I'm supposed to say, because you people. It's like,
Right.
Jesus Christ, lady.
Look, and even if somebody did ask, I want you to do that Latinx, it's like they're not worth listening to if they would shame you in otherwise. You're not supposed to do that. It's stupid. So you could say Latina and Latino. Joe says so. Anyways, so yeah, these cops are so, like over the top evil. It's like,
Yes.
you're gonna tell everybody that she wanted to hurt you, even though she's like, but she tried to save me.
Nuh-uh.
Nope. We're
Try to kill you.
evil.
Why are you doing this?
It's like, no.
You're supposed to be
stop
damage
it.
control,
It's what I
not
want.
arresting. Is there a registration? Are we in the middle of Marvel Civil War? I thought that already ended. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, then I like the scene where when she's trying to gather votes, she does this click. So there's even clicks in a mosque, right? And they do the cartoon, almost like they're in high school. There's the pious ones. There's the Muslim bros. There's the Illuminati aunties, and they know
Aunties.
everything. So she goes there to talk to him, And that's when she learns more about Isha, that, she brought shame on the family.
She killed a man.
Accused of killing a man. And so she's
50 feet tall and fangs and flames coming from her hair. It's like, all right. Okay.
That's when the little kid starts falling out of the mosque.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it right. Anyways, she escapes. And Cameron shows up to save her in his car with his mother in the back. And she's like, I have been waiting to meet you, Cameron. So is this the villain of the season? Will she have her own bracelet? I don't know. But yeah. So not that good, not that great of a hook for me to wait a week. I'm not really anticipating the next episode. Oh yeah,
we have to wait a long time.
We have to wait a long time, and I'm like, man, I'm not all that excited. I'm excited way more for the boys, for Obi-Wan. Even Obi-Wan, I'm more excited for than this. Because I want to see more Hayden and see how they handle Darth Vader. Less Reva. Okay. Anyways. So, yeah, I mean, overall, it's solid. Like Alex says, it's maybe not really for me, but it's not bad yet. But it has the potential to go bad.
I can smell bad. I can just smell it.
Smell the bad.
The fuck is that?
Smell popcorn?
Is that Love Triangle?
But is it? Are we just against love triangles? Period.
If they're done poorly, like this one seems to be. Yeah, I've seen them where it's great, and you're like, oh yeah, this makes total sense, and then I see it where it's like, oh, this is not very good. Kind of like your cop writing. That's also not very good. So.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it. That's our review of Miss Marvel episode 1 and 2. An all right start that we're kind of sensing some problems incoming, but hopefully they stick the landing. So after those directors, they also got in some other director that's going to do the next 2 episodes. So hopefully
just a little bit better
they are able to do justice. Charmin Obali Chinoy is going to do 2, and she's a Pakistani Canadian, and Mira Menon is going to do another 2, and that one's an Indian American director famous for Fargo's Bang, etc. So they're going to do kind of rotating directors, and we'll see if the style maintains or what happens in the future. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.